Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll also be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Get it? Got it? Good. Yeah, so real quick, I don't know what the hell I was doing. Start time was 2:45. I have no idea what the hell I was doing. Sorry. I have no idea. None. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the bell. That's the little bell that's next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? You got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our If you're watching us on our mobile app, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. All right? So wherever you get your apps from, and it doesn't matter. All right, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, Gold Blast, Weebolts, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching us on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Come on, man. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. All right, download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your TV. All right, right to your TV. Do it. Do it now. Do it good. Do it like you know you should. Even if you don't watch it, that's okay. But just download it, put it next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Stars, Paramount Plus. Maybe Tulsa King season 2 is coming out, which means my guy will be in there more. I get more sights of my guy. Actually, his name is Guy. His name is Gaetano, actually, but Guy Narduli. He was in there last year in Tulsa King, and he's an actor out in Hollywood, and so he's going to he'll probably have some more roles up there again this year. So looking forward to seeing him on the big screen. And just like that, you can watch us on the big screen. All right. Hell, we're on the big screen, right? Vicky now. You can also tweet this. So you can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. You want to follow my lovely co-host Maya Akai? You can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a great show, but I need you to get it interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here on the thread. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. And that's you, baby. So bring them all, questions, comments, smart ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's check out the chat, man, because you guys have been getting in early and getting fired up. Cornelius Squalls, what up? To all my sports zoners, that's what I'm talking about. Such a beautiful morning. Now, if you look at it, it's funny, Cornelius, because when I looked at it initially, the mountain and the sun, inside the little and the thread, it looks like someone throwing up. It looks like the throwing up emoji. I was like, why is he having the throw up emoji? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's the mountain one. Well, thank you for not throwing up on our beautiful morning, Cornelius. I appreciate it. My man Armando Emeterio, Lara Junior, my man Junior's in the house. What's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Be Smooth's in the house. No, I told you, yeah, it was me just screwing up. It happens. Rashawn Wall's in the house. Happy hump day, Papa. How are you? No burpees today, thank God. So tomorrow's workout, Rashawn, has burpees. I don't know if I'm going to go do that. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a game time decision. We'll see. AC Adam, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Hank, the basement. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it greatly. Now, listen. I don't know a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can tell you that I know. Man, we got a great show at 10 o'clock. I have Michael Felder from Bleacher Report. Man, he just did a whole show. He covered the draft, all 37, 38 rounds. Kidding. He was on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He was for Bleacher Report. And he's going to come out. We're going to talk about our draft. What does he think about it? Where does he think that this draft puts the Chicago Bears in regards to the NFC North, in regards to the NFC, in regards to the NFL? All right, a lot of people are saying a lot of good stuff about it. I want to hear from a national perspective, all right, because we hear enough of our local jamokes over here. And that's a really good freaking cup of tea that I made today. Wow. So Michael Felder from Bleacher Report is going to join me at 10 o'clock talking Bears, and I am fired up about it. I'm feeling good about this whole situation and about the direction they're going. It just so you know, like, again, I still didn't like the move. Okay, but I understood it. I told you guys before I understood it. I still don't like the move, but this is the move he made, and as Bear fans, we gotta rock with it. So I'm rocking with it. All right. I wish Caleb all the best. They've really done a great job of surrounding him. So let's go. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. And I like, one of the things that we saw before they were even at the draft, they're working out. Caleb and DJ Moore. Remember, DJ Moore was a big fan of Justin Fields, and he was saying how, and he goes, I heard these guys. He goes, but none of them are good as Justin. Stand up for his guy, and you know what? I appreciate that. So, but he did he did come and say some stuff. It could be construed a couple of different ways. I'm talking DJ Moore. He talked about, the anticipation is there, and kind of made it seem throw him under the bus a little bit. But you know what? At this point, I'm not going to complain about it. It is what it is. He said what he said. Yeah, that's it. So, but I'm excited, baby. I'm excited. There's a lot of good stuff to go around. Some UDFAs that they signed are pretty intriguing. Baseball teams suck. Well, the White Sox suck really bad. The Cubs, they just suck because of the Cubs. And they lost yesterday. So that's it. Michael Felder's going to join us today talking Bears. I'm going to have some conversation with you. I want to hear what you guys think about the draft, about the UDFAs that they've signed to this point. Austin Reed, how much do you think how much pressure do you think he puts on Tyson Bagent? Do you think that they go with a veteran? All right, because you can keep 3 quarterbacks now. Do you go with a veteran? What about Austin Reed? This guy was extremely prolific at Western Kentucky, but Tyson Bagent was really prolific, and when he was in college. So, a lot of questions. We're going to talk to you, and I want to get some of your thoughts. Plank in the house. Good morning, baby. How you doing? Bear the freak down. That's what I'm talking about. Bear down, Papa. Thank you. Charles Gilman back in the joint. Charles, what's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. Well, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Oh, man. All right, let's start it off. First top of the morning topics. Yeah. My White Sox snatched defeat for the Jaws victory, falling to the Minnesota Twins 6-5. Michael Soroka started the game. He got a no decision. He went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 punch-outs. Danny Mendick, the hot minor leaguer, came up, got an RBI the other day. He was 2 for 4 with a double, his third, with a homer, his first, 2 RBIs, his second and third of the season. Andrew Benintendi, his last week or so, has started to really warm up. He's 1 for 4 with a homer, his third round tripper of the season, driving in his 13th RBI. Eloy Jimenez was 1 for 5 with an RBI as well. Yeah. The White Sox had the lead, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go. It's going to be, could we get back on the winning track? Nope. And that was frustrating because you just had a 3-game win streak. Now what you want to do is you want to say, okay, let's build. We had to lose. You can't win all the games. All right. We know that. It's like, you can't lose all the games. But you had the lead. Excuse me. You had the lead in the it was 4-3, 4-2, then it was 4-3 after 6. All right, nothing in the 7th. 1, 2. Well, nothing in the 7th. They scored 2. We scored 1 in the bottom of the game. Frustrating. We haven't beaten Minnesota. Was it 10 straight times now? 9 straight games. I think it's almost a calendar year almost a calendar year since we've beat Minnesota. Like, how frustrating is that when the team knows, like, oh, well, we got the Sox. That's how many? 3? That's enough 3 wins. 3 wins. And most likely it is. There's a hex on this team when it comes to the Minnesota Twins. Back in the day, just like back in the day when Ozzy used to call them the Piranhas, with Justin Morneau and Santana on the mound. Who was the other? It was Justin Morneau and oh goodness, who was the other guy? Who was a local kid. He was a kid from Minnesota. I think it was from Minneapolis. Justin Morneau, and there was one more. Anyway, but yeah, they had a number for a while back in the early 2000s. Torrey Hunter. He was a White Sox killer. Oh, I just remember that. That was not a fun time. And it looks like it's reverted back to that time where it's not very fun. It's just not very fun. And I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. You know why? Because we face them again today. We're in the middle of a series. We host the Twins today. It's an afternoon game. First pitch is at 1:10 p.m. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to it on our flagship station, AM 1000. Bailey Ober is on a bump for the Twins. He's 2-1 with a 4.21 ERA. Going up against Chris Flexen for the White Sox, who's 1-3 with a 5.11 ERA. I don't know. Let's salvage one. And it's important that we beat this team just to get the monkey off our back. All right, just to get the monkey off our back. We're off tomorrow, so you win today. Travel, going out to the Lou for the weekend. And then you head over to Tampa next week. So you just swept Tampa. Maybe you can sweep them again. I don't know. But today's a big win. It's not a must win, but I would really like for them to come out of this one with a W. Oh man, King Book of World has checked in. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving a little bit. The next top of the morning topic, man, even the Cubs fall to the New York Metropolitans yesterday in Queens, 4-2. No late game heroics yesterday from that man. Javier Assad, he got the start. He got a no decision in 5 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, and a punch out. Talkman was 2 for 4 with double, his 7th. Amaya drove in his 10th. And never nervous Matt Mervis, he drove in his 9th run of the season. The Cubs team, they bounced back pretty well. After losing in Boston and the embarrassing loss on Saturday, 17-0. They had 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They lost Sunday, but they came back and won the other day. So they don't let defeats hold them down. And today the Cubs, they take on the Mets again tonight. First pitch is at 6:10 Central Time. You can catch that on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship, 670 AM. Shoto Imaga, he's on the bump for for the Cubs. He's not there. That's what I meant to do. He's 4-0 with a 0.98 ERA. He's having some success. Well, because people don't know him. They don't have his once maybe his third or no, maybe halfway through the season, as teams get more film on him, teams will be able to get a better read and hit him. But as of right now, this dude is damn near untouchable. 0.98 ERA. He's going up against Jose Buto, who's 0-1 with a 2.86 ERA. Shoda. Cub fans are really happy about him, and you know what? You have every right to be. You have every right to be. This young man or this pitcher is lights out right now. And again, I think more of it is because people haven't seen him before. He's had 4 starts. Is it 5? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's 4-0. Got to start getting some film on him, some tape, and start breaking it down. But hats off to him. All right, coming over here and literally just dominating here like he did back in Japan. Did he come from Japan or Korea? I don't remember. Guys, you let me know. You guys are Cub fans. Excuse me. Is he from Japan or Korea? I thought it was Japan. I could be mistaken. But yeah, check it out tonight. The weather is beautiful out here in Chicago. It's 70 degrees right now. Lord have mercy. Let me see what the temperatura is going to be today. Oh, it's going to be 75. Shut the front door. Man, if you don't get your crazy butts out there and either walk, just sit in the sun, relax, get out and get some fresh air, get on your balcony, something. Beautiful day. And it's a beautiful day. Cue up U2. Well, the next top of the morning topic is this. Connor Bedard does it again. Connor Bedard, the rookie sensation, rookie superstar for the Blackhawks. He is one of 3 finalists for the Calder Trophy for the NHL, and that is the NHL's Rookie of the Year. This kid lived up to every single ounce of the hype. He handily led all rookies in scoring. He led them in goals with 22. He led them in assists with 39, and with points in 61. He also led them on power play points with 21. He led rookies in shots on goal, 26. It's basically the 4th best rookie season. 4th best season by a Hawks teenager of all time, behind Eddie O, Dennis, and Patrick Kane. Let me tell you something. That is some phenomenal company to be in. Okay? When you're talking Eddie Olczyk, Dennis Savard, and Patrick Kane. That is some phenomenal company to be in. The 4th best season by a teenager. Mind you, he's still only 18. When does he turn? Yeah, he's still only 18. He can't get it yet because the awards aren't until June. That's when the awards are. But yesterday he was named one of 3 finalists, along with Minnesota Wild defenseman Brock Faber and New Jersey Devils defenseman Luke Hughes. So he's got to wait a while. The NHL award show is in late June. That's when they pass that trophy out. They make that announcement. So we got May and June. So we got 6-8 weeks. But he should get it. He missed 14 games and still led all rookies in goals, assists, points, power play points, shots on goal. For all intents and purposes, all of the offensive categories, he led rookies in the NHL. So Chicago's good right now. Chicago's really exciting right now. You just add those the two lovely ladies from the sky. Man, Chicago's it. Chicago is it, and I like it. I like it a lot. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. All right. On the other side of the break, we'll have more sports conversations. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Bedard dropping it back off Donato. Now Bedard with a shot, saved by Omar. Coming around is Bedard, who scores! His first National Hockey League goal!
Begin this power play, and here's Connor Bedard! He scores! Now Foligno, Connor Bedard scores! And the Hawks have tied in the first period. Foligno up to Connor Bedard for Tyler Johnson! Score! Watch Bedard. He doesn't look where he's passing. Bedard takes the puck, scores! What a goal by Connor Bedard! Whoa! How did he do that?
Top shelf, right where Mama puts the peanut butter, baby. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of TNT and NBC Sports Chicago. That is the presumptive Calder Trophy winner, and that's the NHL's Rookie of the Year trophy, Connor Bedard. I tell you, he's got it. He's got it. Telling you, that is a generational talent. See, one of the biggest reasons that there was the Civil War, the Chicago Bears Civil War, was the terms. Okay? So when people say this guy's better than Justin, and I was like, no, he's really not. And everything he tried to say was you wouldn't use you did every defense you had for Caleb, you didn't have for Justin. It didn't work. So when you said, well, Caleb didn't beat any, he beat one top 25 team, like, well, he had no defense. Like, well, yeah, neither did Justin. As a matter of fact, they tore down his defense. But I think the biggest thing was the term generational. And they're making it seem as if he's so generational. He's so much better than everybody else. And that's false. It's hyperbole by the media. And it's not to say that this kid can't be great. It's not to say that at all. I think the kid can be great. I think the Bears have done a phenomenal job of setting him up. But when you put them on a pedestal, see, in the NFL, they throw that word around too much. In hockey, they don't throw it around. They use that every 4, 5, or 6 years. Okay? And you see those guys who are generational. You look at Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs. That dude's generational. All right? You look at Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. That dude's generational. They don't talk about the number 1 pick last season. All right? Because he wasn't generational. Connor Bedard, number 1 pick this season, it was generational. You see him. And I if you remember, if you followed me long enough, you followed Sports Zone Chicago, Jason is one half of the team of What's Up Cuz. Jason Palmer and I, it was the first preseason game in Chicago for Connor Bedard. Man, we got some tickets and we went to see him. And I'm telling you, as my former students and players would say, on everything I love, coach, on everything I love. Within 30 seconds, when the face off, they come up, he gets it, he toe drags and flicks a wrister to the goalie. The goalie stopped it, but I was like, whoa. The kid is not afraid. He ain't scared. Just like over here, ain't nobody scared over here. That kid is not scared on the ice, 18 years old. So when you see generational, and then people try and make arguments like, well, imagine trading the generator. It's sports are different. And this is what annoyed me when people try to use that, they try to compare sports and you can't do it. They try to support their agenda and you can't. All right. Because you can have two Hall of Famers, 2 generational players. Hell, look at the Oilers in the 80s. Look at Taves and Kane in the 2000s. You can have 2 generational players on the same team. You can even play the same position in hockey. One's a first-line center, the second's a second-line center. Simple. But you can't have 2 generational quarterbacks. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So it was just the arrogance, and it was I agree. He didn't get the same supporting cast. He didn't. It was timing. It was just timing, unfortunately for Justin. It was timing. All right, timing. He got a crap offensive coordinator in Nagy. He got a crap offensive coordinator in Getsy. And, to restart the clock, hey. Yeah. Team is in the same position it was when Poles became GM. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Now, maybe this was Poles' plan all along. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's where the divide came from. When people were saying that this kid's generational. And here's the thing about it. Is people were so upset if you didn't agree with them. Like you could literally show them all the mistakes Caleb made. Again, I'm not saying Caleb is not a phenomenal quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. I think the kid is phenomenal. I don't think he transcends the game. That's the difference. So you can show them the same mistakes he had that Justin had in college. You're like, whoa, no. You're an idiot. You're a clown. You're this. You're that. Well, everyone else is saying this. And I'm like, guys, come on. They said Jamarcus Russell was a generational talent. They said Baker Mayfield was a generational talent. Come on. They said Jameis Winston was a generation. Come on. All these, it's just too loosely used, that word, in football. And the arrogance of those people. That was the issue. And Charles, and remember, guys, I said it. I said, you know what? This is what I want. I don't want draft Caleb. I want in here to run this team. I said, but I will trust Poles in his. I said that from Jump Street. I said, I will trust Poles in his decision. So I didn't have to like it, but I trusted him. You know? Yeah, Plank. It's timing. You know, I've used this example plenty of times, and think about it. Remember Jake Arrieta? Remember when Jake Arrieta was pitching for the Cubs? End of 15, first half of 16, the dude was unhittable. Unhittable. I joked that if you foul the ball off, you were happy. It made your day. That's how unhittable Jake Arrieta was. Only problem for Jake Arrieta, remember he won the Cy Young in 2016, I want to say. 2015. Anyway, the only problem for Jake Arrieta, he didn't come on a contract till 2017. Had he come out after the 2016 season, after winning the Cy Young, after winning the World Series, the $200 million that he would have wanted, him and Scott Boras, he would have got. But he came out the following year and he was nowhere near that. It was just timing. And that's what it was. So, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm a big Justin Fields fan. I wish him the best. I wish him all the best in the world, except when he plays the Bears. You know, I have him throw for 300 yards and the Steelers lose. Still all about my Bears. So Caleb's the kid. That's it. Come on, kid. Play your ass off, kid. And there's a lot of things that I like about what he's doing. We'll talk about that more at the top of the hour with Michael Felder from Bleacher Report. All right, if you missed it during the draft, he did a whole recap live, which I thought was good. It was dope. It was dope. Charles just going to sit behind Wilson and learn, then he'll ball out. I agree. It could be similar to what happened to him in Georgia. He left Georgia because they wouldn't get rid of Jake Fromm. He goes to Ohio State and balls. You saw what Pittsburgh did in the draft. They got a couple offensive linemen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But I agree. Charles, again, I love what Poles has done. I love it. Talk a little baseball real quick. The Cubs with a big win yesterday. We mentioned that at the top of the morning segment. The Cubs are doing well. And the question I have is, how much of it is because of Craig Counsell? Because now, don't forget, Belly's out. Cody Bellinger is out with cracked ribs. Let me tell you something. Cracked ribs ain't nothing to mess with, dude. Nothing to mess with. Championship game 2006. Playing the Force. And we were undefeated. And had we won that game, if we were victorious in that game, we were going to be invited to play in the national championship game down in Florida. I was a league MVP that year. And late in the game, the Force were a great team. Great team. And late in the game, I don't remember how it happened. I cracked my ribs got cracked. And it was hard breathing. It was hard breathing. I couldn't laugh. And we had one drive left. Well, 2 drives. It ended up being 2 drives because my guy Rob Mitch stopped my guy Obi, who was playing for the Force at the time, on a 4th and 1. But up to that point, we ran the clock down, and I didn't tell Coach that I cracked my ribs because I was not going to put the ball in the hands of anybody else. So it was my right side. We ran to the left, and I told her, "Hey, just keep running to the left. Just run to the left. Just run to the left." Because I didn't want to put the ball in my right hand if I'm going to the right, because I'm up against the ribs. So at least I could fight defenders off with my hand. If the ball is in hand, I can't fight, and if I get hit from that side or whatever. So breathing was tough. So I get it about belly. It's tough. It's real tough. The Cubs are doing a great job. Yeah, they lost over the weekend. It's because I know the Cubs are good, and any chance I got to talk shit, I would. Because there's not going to be a lot of times to do that. Because this team is well managed. This team plays hard. This team is very talented. Just got to put it together. You just have to continue to put it together. What did I do with that? Oh, why did I put that over here? That's kind of weird. Why the hell did I put that over there? You know, the thing, where did that go? Because the Cubs were, if I'm not mistaken, despite this injury to one of their guys, the Cubs were in first place. There we go. Yep. Well, they were the other day. Milwaukee's ahead by a half game. Milwaukee's 18-11. The Cubs are 18-12. So they're in the second. They're a half game out. With their stud, Cody Bellinger, out. Things are looking good on the north side. God, I hate saying that. But they are. Craig Counsell was a great acquisition. And these youngsters are stepping up. Chris Morel hits the game-winning homer yesterday against the Mets, or 2 days ago against the Mets, after they were getting no hit. They're no hit through 7. And Chris Morel parks one, a 2-run shot. Turned out to be the game winner. So now the youngsters are stepping up. Belly was starting off well. Dansby's got to step it up a little more. Okay. But Michael Bush has been stepping it up. I mean, you talk about what's going on. Jay Grizz, what's up, Papa? I think Counsell wins games that Rossi found a way to lose somehow. Counsell's good, man. Counsell's good. Counsell's good. And the thing is, you know, he's in a talk about timing. Like, if he got Chris Morel last year, is Chris Morel making game-winning homers? Possibly. But we can only speculate. We can only go by what he's done this year, and that's hit a game-winning homer. So he's got these players are not in year one, but they're in breakout years. And it's going to make it a lot easier for the Cubs with the leadership of Cody Bellinger, with the leader of a Dansby Swanson. Okay? Leadership of these guys to get these young guys to play and play well. Well, on the south side, my guys, we were talking about it yesterday. I had a podcast last night called The Bears Den that I do with Saul Rodriguez and Joe Tanksley. And we had Ken Davis on. And Ken's my guy, man. I've known Ken since 2014. So 10 years I've known Ken. And we were talking like, yeah, we got to get together. I'm like, we'll go hit a Sox game. And I looked up tickets on Game Time, the Game Time app. Tickets were starting at $1. Tickets starting at $1. I'm like, let's go. So, we won't spend a lot of money. I said, if I have to, I'll park. That'll be $30, which is fine. Or I could park in the Mariano's parking lot on 33rd and Ashland. Walk to 35th and take the bus over, so I don't have to give them my $30, but come with my flask. So it's so like going there is just going there to hang out, not really watch the game. I almost feel like a Cub fan, just going to Cub games just to hang out and drink and socialize. But there's not a lot good going on the South Side. But here's the problem: is that there's still talent. That's the issue. I know the big three is hurt. Although I'm sorry, big two: Lou Bob and Yo-Yo. Eloy's back, but they have talent. That is one of the most frustrating things. It's like they're so horrible, they're horrendous, but they have talent. I don't know what Michael Kopech is doing, and I was a huge fan of his. Man, I went, was it a couple of years in a row? I think I went to Yo-Yo's first game up. I went to Michael Kopech's first game up. I went to Eloy's first game up. I went to Lou Bob's first game up, or first game at Soldier Field at Sox Park, because I was excited about these youngsters. Excited. And then the stupid moves they made, bringing in Tony La Russa, that screwed it all up for everybody. That was the move that destroyed that team. That was the move. That was the move. You had Joe Girardi out there. You had who's the guy? Joe Madden from the Cubs. You had, and here's the best one. You had Showalter. All right, this guy led the Giants to World Series in 2012 and 2014. That's Showalter. Oh goodness. Oh man. Bochy, that's it. Not Showalter. Fuck Showalter. He was a Diamondbacks. Bruce Bochy. This was the crazy part. Bruce Bochy was out there, and they didn't even bring him in for an interview. A man with 3 World Series rings. 3 rings. And they don't bring him in for an interview. That's how I knew my White Sox were on some bullshit. You don't bring a guy like that in? You know what it is? It's because they love controlling everything. Here, meet the new GM. Same as the old. Chris Guest, another company guy. So you bring a guy who's in charge of the development, the minor league development. He's in charge of the entire minor league system, the development, everything. And they don't develop. Oh, it wasn't generational. He was just a top prospect. He's the top prospect in the minor leagues, coming out of when he was in Boston. He was the number 1 player in the minor leagues. He wasn't generational, but he was a 5-tool player and never lived up to that. Never lived up to it at all. And Jay Grizz, man, you haven't been watching me long enough, but man, Yo-Yo was my guy. I love Yo-Yo. I think Yo-Yo is one of the most talented guys in baseball. But God, his mentals are all jacked up. You gotta watch the mentals, man. He didn't know whether he wanted to be a home run hitter or an alley to alley hitter. All right, you go alley to alley, your average goes up. He had the 1 year where he finished 3rd in batting average, and I'm like, okay, this is a precursor to him really ready to blow up. Nope. But to not bring in Bruce Bochy, even for an interview, it's but here it was. Jerry Reinsdorf, it's Tony La Russa is his friend. He's still in the organization to this day. Said, hey, I'm sorry about Hawk Harrelson firing you back in the 80s. Come and take this team to a World Series. Well, it didn't freaking work. And that was the issue with this. Because we remember when Ricky Renteria was coaching, remember the slogan, Ricky's boys play hard. And they did. They were exciting. Remember how exciting that was? Tim Anderson with the bat flips, the team with the home run, the walk-off homers, and the celebrations and all that craziness. And then Tony La Russa comes, and then you're like, oh, man, I got my ex-military Marine grandpa here as a coach. And I think he tried to overcorrect too much. I think he tried to be too cool with the guys. And the guys didn't really know how to. They treaded lightly. So that's what screwed up my White Sox. And, man, it is horrible now. I don't even know if I can call it horrible because that would be an insult to horrible. Oh, they definitely weren't hiring Ozzie, Mashawn. You know that. They definitely weren't hiring Ozzie because Ozzie was going to tell them, screw you. You're not making my lineup. The general managers don't make lineups in Ozzie's world. And he's right. He's right. General managers don't make lineups. The manager makes the lineup. So it's quite interesting. But I am going to go to a few games, get a couple tickets. We're supposed to get a suite with some cousins of mine. So my cousins want to get a suite. It's going to be about $150. But it's out food and time with family. And to me, that's the most important thing was the time with family. Like, okay, got to give this joker more money. But the time with family is the thing that really... So I'm going to go to a couple Sox games. I'll probably meet up with Ken, make sure I get some of the 100 level seats, $15. $15. You're a fool. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, you know what? Here's the fun part. Sox fans, we're still going to talk shit. Still. We know our team sucks. And every time you lose, like you did the other day, 17-0, oh, yeah. All over it. All over it. Oh, man. But summertime shy is man. It's about here. It's about here. 75 degrees today. Don't forget, Cinco de Mayo is coming up on Sunday. For those of you who don't know, that's May 5th. And no, it is not Mexican Independence Day. It's one of the key battles of Mexico defeating the French in the Batalla de Puebla. Okay, Puebla was a small town. Okay, a small town, and it was one of the key battles that helped the Mexicans beat the French, and go on to independence. Mexican Independence Day is September 16th. Okay, but it's a big. And what's really funny, in the town of Puebla, where the battle was won, it's not a big deal. America makes it a big deal. America makes it a huge deal. It's a bigger deal here than it is in Mexico because they want to market it. Corona, Dos Equis, in America, everything's marketing. Everything's marketing. It's like, oh, Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo. It's okay. You got St. Patrick's Day for the Irish people. You got Cinco de Mayo for the Mexican people. You know what I mean? It's like, okay. And yeah, the Battle of Puebla. It was just, so it is not Mexican Independence Day, but I am going to go, I got a guy. I got a guy. So I have a shirt, a St. Rita's shirt, a black shirt. In the SR, it has the Mexican flag inside of it. The red, white, green, and the eagle in the middle. So I'm going to wear that on Sunday. And I got a guy, I'm going to go get one of the Mexico hats from the World Cup or from the World Baseball Classic, the black one with the M on it, because the shirt's black. So I'm ready to roll. So get ready to enjoy the weekend, man. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. Because on the other side of the break, my man Michael Felder is going to join us from Bleacher Report. We're going to talk Chicago Bears football. The draft concluded. We signed some UDFAs. We got to wait till training camp, some training camp cuts. But I want to get a national perspective on what he thinks. What he thinks the Bears accomplished this draft. Charles, thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. Have a good day at work. Appreciate you tuning in. But we hear all the local jamokes. All right, let's get someone who looks at it from 10,000 feet above the earth. All right, the big scheme. So Michael Felder is going to be on the other side. He's going to join us. All right, he's from Bleacher Report. That's all he did all weekend. Starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He was live. Is it live? Is that Beastie Boys? Is it live? Yeah, I think it's the Beastie Boys. He was live with all the picks, doing live analysis. We're going to talk to Michael Felder on the other side. Keep it locked right here, folks. Don't go anywhere. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
all these goals. What is it about you that doesn't want to duck any of the smoke that comes along with the expectations?
What's the reason to duck? It's here. There's no reason to duck. I'm here. Rome's here. Keenan Allen. Top 5 defense that we had last year. Special teams, all the new roles, whatever. We're here. So I'm excited. I know everybody's excited. The Bear fans are excited from what I've heard and seen. And there's no reason to duck. Attack it. Head first. And go get it. Yeah, why wouldn't I? Obviously, if there's growing pains, you handle them. But that doesn't mean that affects your greatness. There's trials and tribulations that you go through. Why would I go somewhere, work so hard for so many years, and in every situation that I go to, believe I'm the best, and then I get here, and I don't believe that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That Chicago Bears fans is our new quarterback, Caleb Williams. He's got a little arrogance about him, which I like. And somebody said it. I think someone said it best. I forgot who I was talking to. Like, give me someone that fuckers hate. We've hated Aaron Rodgers. We hated Brett Favre for years. Give us someone that people hate. Because all they do is they beat the hell out of you every single time. And they talk shit about it to your face. That's sports. That is literally sports, period. If you don't believe it, see Anthony Edwards and KD talking all that trash. At the end of the game, it's like, hey, bro, you got it. You got it. Hell, Kobe, what he did to Mike when Mike retired. Michael said, he's like, I'd have been mad if Kobe didn't try and drop 100. He goes, that's how you pass the torch. Hopefully we got that guy who gets to the point where other fan bases just freaking hate him. Like, I still hate Aaron Rodgers, and he's not even in Green Bay. He's not even in Green Bay. I still hate his ass. But I think we got a good draft, a really good draft. And my first guest, we're going to talk to him about this draft, but I want to see what he thinks about this draft and where it puts us, our Chicago Bears, in the NFC North, in the NFC, and in the NFL. Man, he's with Bleacher Report. He was talking all weekend long, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, after every pick. Man, I caught a few. I caught a little bit of it, and man, props to you, Papa. Props to you. That was a long couple days, baby. A long couple days. He works for Bleacher Report. You can find him on Twitter at In the Bleachers. Guys, it's welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Michael Felder. Michael, what's up, Papa? Good morning. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. I just got back from a run, put 2 miles in the morning, got to hit that road work. And
you got a boxing match coming up?
No, man. I'm on a 292-day streak of running.
Really?
Yeah. So
is it the same mileage every day, or is it vary, or is it pretty close?
Varies. So I do at least a mile a day, but there's a lot of days I try to do a 5K, but I get that in, and then you knock that out, and then you get to work. And so let's start with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, and I heard what you were saying about you want a guy that other teams hate. Like, you want him to play for you, but you don't want to play against him.
Yep.
And Caleb Williams fits into that mold. I will say this: the Bears have had guys like that, just not at quarterback. Right? Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, like they've had guys recently in the last, what are we talking about, the last 15, 20 years that they've had guys like that. They just didn't play quarterback. And that's the part, like Rex Grossman isn't striking fear into anyone's heart.
No.
Caleb Williams does have that ability. And so when I look at him, I knew he was going to be the number one pick. I will say this: I did like Jaden Daniels a little more, just because he came from an NFL system and played for an NFL head coach in Herm Edwards. But Caleb Williams was always going to be the number one pick. They made the right decision. They didn't reach. They didn't stretch. You had the number one pick. You go out and you get this guy. I will say this: Rome Odunze, I thought he was the number two wide receiver, and you got the number 2 wide receiver at the number 3 price, which is awesome. I love Rome Odunze. I think he is amazing. I think he's this hybrid blend of a guy that can take the top off, but also can run every single route. And I think that is important. Rome Odunze's ability to run every single route is it's impressive.
it's awesome to watch. Like when you go back and you watch Roma Dunze, you're like, I don't know what he's going to do. Why? Because he's so advanced. Is he as advanced as maybe as Marvin Harrison Jr.? He's one step below. But is he better at that than Malik Neighbors? Yeah, he's better at that than Malik Neighbors. So that's why I had him at 2. I love that. The Amagaji, what is it? Kieran Amagaji, the tackle. I think he could play all 5 positions on the offensive line.
Really?
I mean, he went to Yale.
Okay.
Like, come on, smart kid.
So he's dumb.
Yeah. So smart kid. He can get the job done. I think the key for him is going to be getting up to play strength. So, and I'm not talking about a punter. I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. But I will say this: Austin Booker, project player, but as someone who the length, the explosion is there. Now we just got to get him pointed in the right direction.
So for Austin Booker, we'll go backwards. All right, Austin Booker, I was screaming for a one-trick pony. I'm like, dude, just give me a Mark Anderson from 06 and put him passing downs. All right, I can have DeMarcus Walker set the edge on rundowns. And I think that's what we got. I don't think that's all Booker can be.
Right.
I think in his first year, though, I think that's where it would be best suited for him. I was watching some. I hadn't researched him after they drafted him. I was watching some of his highlights and some. His bendability is freaking insane.
Yep.
His quickness to dip a shoulder is insane. I saw a couple linemen just like whoop, and he dipped. Oh, sack! Like damn. So now he's got to make sure that he's able to do that. He doesn't telegraph it because these guys are a little quicker, a little stronger in the NFL. But if he can still get that dip, that whoop, when I dip, you dip, we dip.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, freak nasty.
I was like, yeah, you're damn right. That's another podcast. But I like it. I like it, man. I love this in this kid, and he doesn't have a lot of tread on his miles on those tires.
Right.
I'm really happy with that pick that they even jump back into the draft to get him. Where do you see him when it's all said and done? Let's not forget, and this is, you see my shirt, man. You see my shirt. He's being coached by Coach Washington. That's one of the better D-line coaches and most respected D-line coaches in the NFL. Where do you see him in a year or two after being with Montez Sweat, being with Andrew Billings, being with Coach Washington? Where do you see Booker ceiling?
Well, here's the thing. Coaches run to coaching, and I think that's the important thing. We've seen it with Tomlin. We've seen it with we've seen it with the Eagles as well. Obviously, we're watching it with the Bears with respect to the defensive line coach. Coaches run to coaching. They don't run away from it. And so for me, this is a guy that is coachable. He has not played a ton of football, as you mentioned. He doesn't have a lot of his tires aren't worn. He's got the factory boys. They're ready to rock and roll.
Still got the little thin rubber things on the end.
Yeah, he's still got the little nubs on those bad boys.
Nubs, yeah.
So the thing for me with Austin Booker is I want to see, yes, he's going to be in the words of my guy Mike Renner, he's going to be a DPR to start. Special teams and DPR, designated pass rusher, DPR. And so he's going to do that, and he can do that. But I also know that he's going to get coached into doing the right thing. And this is someone, listen, when I was at UNC, not when I was at UNC, the year I left UNC is when Butch Davis came in. Butch Davis was a coach for the Cowboys. Butch Davis also coached at Miami. And Butch Davis held back Robert Quinn. He held back Quentin Coples. He held them back. And not held them back like redshirted. He was just like, that's not how we do it. We have to do it this way. And by that, what I mean is he was showing them how you have to do it, not just letting them. And that's the difference between them and Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney was allowed to just do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Go do whatever you want. Go do what works. And Butch Davis taught guys how to be defensive ends. And I think that's a huge part of what you're going to get with him going to the Bears is you're going to learn how to be a defensive end. He's also going to play special teams, obviously, which I think is excuse me, which I think is a very, he can still run. That's the thing with Booker is he can run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so he gets to be a part of that. when you get to Adagaji, when you get to him, Amagaji, excuse me, you're looking at a guy that we know he can digest this playbook. Now it's where do we put him? Where do we fit this guy? And the reality is he's probably also going to play special teams, but it's probably going to be like field goal team. And that's fine. By the way, what do you guys think about this new kickoff rule? Because we at the end of the draft, what we saw was a lot of corners, wide receivers coming off the board, but they were all guys that had a lot of return experience. And I wonder what that looks like for this. So I don't want to divert from the Bears, but I haven't gotten a chance I just got home. I haven't got a chance to talk to anybody since I was working.
I'm here, Papa. I'm here.
Yeah.
I like it, man. You know what? They're 10 yards apart. Can't go till the guy kills it. I mean, till the guy catches it. Sorry, I wanted to kill my landscaper, but it's another story. And so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. You come with a trap block. Like pick one, this guy comes around, boom, there's a hole, he's gone. I'm like,
exactly.
Man.
And as someone who I was big kickoff, I'm like, oh, they're gonna get there's no X. You can't run that the downfield, the X move that you do where it confuses people because most return teams they get lined up and they set up on numbers.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, when you can't do that anymore, so it's going to be really interesting. I hear your guy.
He's right outside my window too. Hold on.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing. You look at the Bears roster, and I think they've got pieces that can do that. But the reality of it is, if you go back to the draft, Roma Dunze can do that. But now you give Caleb Williams a weapon. And we saw what he can do when he has weapons, right? We saw what Caleb can do when he has, whether it was Jordan Addison a year ago. We see all this stuff. And so you add Roma Dunze to that. And obviously DJ Moore is there. I really do. And Keenan Allen is there, which
oh, yeah.
Keenan Allen he's from North Carolina. So, we stand a king. This is a team that's going to be dangerous. The key for me is, whether it's, I don't know if it's going to be Eberflus or it's going to be Waldron, but the key, or not Waldron. The key for me is going to be, can we make sure that he fits in here? And then when this isn't here, then he can go out of the pocket.
I said, and guys, we're on with Michael Felder from Bleacher Report talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. And, for me to think, I said the most important acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron. Because I didn't give a damn if it was Justin Fields. I was a Justin Fields guy. I wanted him to stay.
Sure.
Or if it was Caleb Williams. It didn't matter. I needed an experienced play caller. People were looking at CJ Stroud like, oh my God, it's so crazy. No, he had Bobby Slowick calling plays.
Yes.
He had someone who knew exactly how to maximize the skill and not do dumb shit like throw 3 straight screens when you're inside your own 10-yard line, like Guesty did. All right. That was the most important hire. Then you look at what Waldron did. He worked with Russ. He worked with Geno to the point where Geno got a contract extension, a nice one.
Yeah, big one.
So you're like, okay, that to me was the most important thing, and they got it. So I'm looking at this thing. Where do you think this offense fits now? Because now you got DJ Moore. All right. DJ Moore, 1,300 yards. All right. You just mentioned Keenan Allen. All right. 1,200 yards. Roma Dunze. I know it's not NFL yards, but, 1,400 yards. All right. Then you got Cole Kmet. We forgot about Cole Kmet. Then you still got DeAndre Swift in the back.
Yeah.
Where do you think this offense stacks up? On paper, because it's going to take a second. But on paper, where do you think this offense stacks up in the NFC North? Because I want to talk about those guys in a second too.
Well, it's gonna take time, and that's the thing. And we have to. You got to. This is the thing my mom always says. You got to give them space and give them grace. And that's just where I live by. I kind of try to live by that motto of you got to give people space and grace. And once you get to that, then you'll figure it out. But these guys got to get to know each other, and that's something that I don't think we give nearly enough credence to. everybody wants everything to work immediately. We see it in the
Immediately.
NBA, obviously, with KD and Devin Booker and that whole deal. And like, but it's the same thing in football. In football, I'd argue is a little bit more of a complementary sport in terms of like everyone has to work together. And so the key for me, like Keenan Allen's never played with Caleb Williams.
Right.
Keenan Allen is closer to my age than he is to Caleb's age. And it's one of those things where like, but Keenan Allen's a really good football player. So Caleb has to, I'm not going to say humble himself because I think that's the wrong word. I don't want him to be humble. I want him to come in and know that he's in charge. But Keenan Allen does have something that he can offer to Caleb, and Caleb has to be accepting of that knowledge. This is a guy that played with Phillip Rivers. Like, he knows football really well.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, when he tells you, hey, man, don't put the ball there, you have to be like, okay, I'm not going to put the ball there anymore. Sorry. You got to say, and that's what I think when I look at it. As far as the NFC, North goes?
NFC North.
Why can't they be offense number one or they shouldn't be less than 2. Obviously, we look at the Packers, and the Packers are also trying to make things work. I don't know what the Vikings are doing, if we're being honest. And the Lions aren't interested in being the best offense. The Lions are interested in being the best team, and those are 2 completely different things.
Yeah. Okay.
The Lions, and I will listen, I don't mean to be rude or mean or anything. I played football with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is one of my favorite people in the NFL. They're not interested in being flashy, good looking. Like the Lions, you know what the Lions are? Hey, you know what the Lions are? The Lions are, they're your Meemaw that shows up in her moo-moo, and guess what? She's going to make the best plantanos. She's going to make the best tamale. Like, she's going to do everything the best that you can do. But she's like, it doesn't matter. We're just going to always, like the Lions, you know where they are? They're your uncle who shows up and is like, well, do you want to fight? And you're like, no, not you. Absolutely not. So I think that's an interesting part because the Bears are kind of both, right? 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Where the Bears are trying to be aggressive in terms of what they can do down the field. DJ Moore, obviously. Rome Odunze, clearly. You get Caleb Williams, Flash. And the Lions are like, no. We're not. No, absolutely not. All we want to do is punch people. That's the whole deal.
And they did a good job of it. They took one of our they didn't take one of our guys, David Montgomery, left, and he was the bell cow last year for them. And that 1-2 punch, him and Jahmyr Gibbs, was that thunder and lightning was sweet. It was to watch from afar. Unfortunately, he was in our division, but to watch from afar, it was kind of nice.
Not far enough.
Yeah. And truth be told, the Bears had them. We beat them one game, and we were beating them 55 minutes of the other game.
Yeah.
and so that's what gives me, great anticipation for it. So
the Bears are building a team. The Bears are building a team that wants to compete with the Bengals, right? Or the Chiefs. Like there's or the Rams. If we're going to stick in the NFC, the Rams.
Okay.
They're building a team that wants to compete in that realm, and the Lions are building a team that's built in their coach's image, and those are 2 completely different things. And then when you get to the playoffs, you figure it out.
Yeah. Talk to me then about your expectations for the Bears. We just mentioned their weapons. All right, DeAndre Swift. They still got Khalil Herbert for another year. You have Roshan Johnson, who started showed some flashes last year. You got the second tight end. I just lost his name. To go with Cole Kmet. You got a stud defense. What expectations do you have from this Chicago Bears team? You won 7 games, should have won 3. You had 3 games where you had a 90% chance of winning it late in the fourth quarter. So you're looking at possibly 8, 9, or possibly 10 wins. What expectations do you have for this Chicago Bears team?
I think. Well, the thing is, you can't do all this in a vacuum because you got to look at what the Packers did, and you got to look at what the Lions have done, and the Vikings. I don't know what the Vikings are doing. If we're being honest, like, do you know what the Vikings are doing?
I didn't know. I don't know if they're going to get. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you signed Sam Darnold. Like, why do that? I had no idea. Unless you be a tutor for JJ, but
tutor him how?
Look, don't do what I did.
And what?
Don't do what I did.
Like JJ McCarthy, I thought was overdrafted personally. And then they go out and I don't think that they got a single starter in the draft. And that's except for JJ McCarthy, who's going to be forced into starting because when you pick a quarterback first, and you guys have lived through this in Chicago, when you pick a quarterback first, you have to start them. JJ McCarthy wasn't asked to do anything at Michigan. So this is going to be interesting. I think that the Bears are going to be I think this is a wild card football team, and that's not a negative. I think this is a team where you have an established quarterback in Jordan Love. So he's an established quarterback. We know what he is. We know what we're going to get from him. We'll see if they have the weapons around him to go out and make those plays. I think Green Bay. So that's Green Bay. We get to Detroit again. We already talked about Detroit. They're a rough and tumble football team. Again, what did Dan Campbell say? He wants to eat your kneecaps or whatever.
Your kneecaps.
But that's what they do, and that's how they get it done. Now, injuries can become a problem for them because if they get hurt, they're going to be a team that they can't bounce back if their guys aren't all healthy. So I think those are your three. Right? The Bears, the Lions, and then you throw in the Bears, the Lions, and the Packers, and we'll see how that all shakes itself out. The problem is there's other teams out here playing football. The Eagles, oh no, what are they gonna do? Because they're scary. The Eagles become a problem, and so when you ask me to put them in kind of like the pantheon of the NFC, I mean, should they be probably a top 6, I will say. And what do you have to be to get in the playoffs? Probably top 6, top 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody's going to get into the playoffs from the NFC South, which they shouldn't. They're all bad.
Yeah.
They're all bad. At least I live in Charlotte. I'm talking to you from Charlotte. But if the Panthers go 8-9, they might get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because the whole division is bad. And then you flip it over and you look to the what is it? The NFC, is it the South or NFC West?
West.
And you look at the 49ers. The Rams are gearing up for just a massive push. And then we know, look, the Seahawks they're built different. The Seahawks are trying to get it done with Geno Smith and try to figure it out. And so there's a lot there. And I think that it's worth looking at instead of us. Look, and I listen, and Shawn, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. What I'm trying to say is the ranking, the pantheon of where teams fit, we have to start in their division, which I think the Bears are obviously in the mix there. They could win the division depending on, how the chips fall. But then you also have to look at the Seahawks, the 49ers. The 49ers just played in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then you have to deal with the fact that the Rams are, and this is something that I keep, shout out to my guy, Mike Renner. He made me think about a little bit more. How much longer are you going to have that quarterback?
You talking the Niners and Brock Purdy?
No. The Rams.
Stafford.
Yeah. How much longer are they going to have him? What do they have?
I know. He's in 30 something already.
Yeah. So they have 2 or 3 years. They have to push all their chips in. And that's different than a team like the Bears, who's we're building. We're getting up to that. And so it's the same with the Panthers. The whole NFC South is just building to get up to where the 49ers are. And so that's the way I've started looking at things. I started looking at ages a lot more. And I started looking at what do they have? What do they need? What can they do right now? Because with Matt Stafford's not going to be around forever.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go right now. Because if it doesn't happen for him, it's over. And I think the Bears are on the push up.
Oh.
Good.
Dude, I just looked. He's 36. I thought he was 32, 33. He's 36.
So, yeah. So if they don't win a Super Bowl in the next, 2 years, it's over.
I mean, he's got one, but
Yeah.
they need it. No, they're putting together a team for one more. Dude, I
Yep.
didn't realize he was 36.
Yeah, he's
I
36.
thought 32.
They're
Goodness
so
gracious, great balls of fire.
But to go back to what we're talking about with the Bears, if I'm a Bears fan, I just want to win a bunch of games. And I want Caleb to be very good. Because it's Caleb versus what? Jordan Love? Because Jared Goff, look up how old is Jared Goff?
Yeah, he's 30. I thought he was 32.
I think Jared Goff is 32. And so the future of this division is Love, who's older.
29,
Williams.
he'll be 30. He'll be 30.
He'll be 30. It's Love, it's Williams. Like, that's the future of this division. And then J.J. McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the way that I've been looking at it. Like, you don't like, and this is something that I think about a lot. You don't want to mortgage your future if you're not there. Like, the Rams can afford to mortgage their future.
Right.
The Lions can afford to mortgage some of their future. But the Bears and the Vikings, they need to bet on now. And now doesn't mean Super Bowl. Now means let's build up what we have. Let's get an offensive line. Let's find a wide receiver that's going to be with this guy forever. Let's find this. And so I think in the pantheon of the NFC, what we're looking at, I don't know what the Falcons are doing, by the way, just for the record. I have no clue. I don't think the Falcons know what the Falcons are doing.
I think you might be right.
The Falcons are it's psycho world down there.
Yeah.
So at least the Panthers seem like they have a plan. It's not the right plan, but they have a plan. And the Bears have a plan. I think the Vikings have a plan. The Packers have a plan. The Lions have a guy that they're willing to bet on in their head coach. And then the 49ers, the Seahawks. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all shakes itself out, because there's not a lot of listen, to circle back, there's not a lot of tread left on those tires that they have.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me about this Bears defense. Montez Sweat, the Sweat effect. And, people said, well, we gave up, we had the fewest sacks last year. And I was on a show and I was like, oh, stop. I said, this is where stats, because I'm not a stat guy. But this is where stats can be manipulated, because as true a fact as that is.
Yes.
Tell me where the Bears were once Montez Sweat got there to the end of the year. Don't tell me when they had 4 sacks in the first, 6 weeks. What I mean? When they couldn't sniff the quarterback. All right. Well, tell me where they were once he got there to the end of the season. Where did they rank? Because now, because you can accept a step forward with Gervon Dexter. All right. Another solid year from Andrew Billings, who was so solid in his first year. They extended him before the year was even up.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on this defense. We got Jalen Johnson back. Tyreek Stevenson developed a lot. I asked him in the locker room, like, are you feeling more confident? He's like, I always have confidence, but he says, but my teammates, he said, man, he goes, they supported me when, he was getting all those holding calls and just being too physical. Yeah. And all of a sudden those started going away a little bit. All right. It wasn't, and now he's playing with a lot of swagger, like people from the U like to play with. This back seven is tight, man. This back seven is good. Where do you see this? How is this a playoff defense? Is it a Super Bowl caliber defense, or is it just a playoff caliber defense?
I think it's a get to the playoff defense. Here's the thing: I comp somebody to Tyreek Stevenson actually, and one of the notes was he's handsy, and I was like, yeah, he's handsy. He's a handsy guy. It reminds me of Tyreek Stevenson coming out of the U, and so, but he's getting better at it. And I think the key for me is in Montez Sweat. Yes, absolutely. Very good pass rusher. I think the key is going to be finding a complement to that. And is that going to be, Jamarcus Walker? Is that going to be you got to find a complementary part? Is that going to be that DPR, that Austin Booker that comes in and is like, hey, guys, I don't do anything else, but you know what I do? I get to the quarterback on 3rd and 7.
Yep.
And so I think that's an interesting piece. I like this. I like the team. I like the makeup of them defensively. The key is going to be, I guess there's a couple things. I wish they would have drafted another linebacker personally. But you know what? They had so much draft capital, and they went out and got the quarterback that they wanted. They went out and got another tight end to go with Cole Kmet. They went out and they got guys probably going to end up playing corner. But this is a team that is absolutely trying to figure out who they are, and they have to do that. And I think the linebacker spot, because remember, like Monsters of the Midway and this whole deal, like there's teams that have identities. And my dad's a Steelers fan. Okay. So again, not to derail, but my dad's a Steelers fan. And he called me after the draft and he said, this was a Steelers draft. This was a Steelers draft. We got the guys. And
got some big hogs up front.
Yeah. And I think this is the Bears. This is one. Obviously, Justin Fields, and we talked about this already, he didn't pan out the way we wanted him to. But at the end of the day, this is a team that, like, this could be the best quarterback the Bears have had, like, maybe ever. And then you build around that. And I'm very curious to watch how this shakes itself out. I'm excited for Booker. Booker is a steal going as late as he did. Roma Dunze, we're excited about that. Defensively, this is a team, and hang on, let me see. Let me double down. Let me double check. Yeah, it's like you added there's a bunch of pieces that they added post-draft that should be good, and we'll figure it out. I just think that I wish they would have got a linebacker that we knew. Like I wish they would have drafted Jeremiah Trotter is the only thing.
I know he went in like the 37th round. I'm like, dude, he was late. He was like 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there.
And what's crazy is that Jeremiah Trotter went to the Eagles, and he's going to be playing next to Nakobe Dean. And I'm like, oh God, jeez, two guys that know more about football than anyone. Goodness,
well, man, you know what? We're excited over here in Chicago. We really are
excited. You should be excited. I just talked to my buddy Mike Bowling, and he's excited. And look, the Bears have a lot of pieces. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what Ryan Bates looks like as the center, and then Nate Davis, and like the entire offensive line feels like it's still intact. They just have to find a way. Like the question for them is going to be, how do we block for Caleb Williams? And then Caleb Williams, the question becomes, how do I play not just behind this offensive line, but with this play calling? I'd love to see it look a lot more like Russell Wilson in terms of design rollouts, design half rolls, and less like Lincoln Riley, which is a lot of just improv. I'd like less improv, but we'll see what we get. He can do both.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's and the thing that's interesting is so many people, like obviously the trolls came out when they traded Justin and whatever, and they talked about for me it was never his talent. The talent was never that's never in question. That was never in question.
No.
It was, can he play in structure?
Right.
Can he lead this team? Because you had a guy that they traded who was the leader of this team. Right. So we're going to see. And I watch film. Yeah, the dude can play in structure.
Yeah.
My biggest question, and what did I want to ask you then, is do you think that Shane Waldron keeps the training wheels on until at least 3/4 of the season? You know what? Because you don't, and I know this is probably one of the best situations a number 1 overall pick who's a quarterback has ever stepped into. DJ, Keenan, Cole, Walker, Swift. All right, you guys, that's a hell of a lot. I mean, man, you think Troy Aikman would have loved that, or any of the other guys back in the day? You know what I mean? So it's easy to say, okay, now we're going to start throwing the ball all over the place. But you talked about something that was very important: the fundamentals.
Right.
All right, the fundamentals. So is it to save this guy, because you don't want to put the whole weight of this franchise on a rookie quarterback, which is why you got the offensive line, which is why you got all those weapons. Do you think that that Shane Waldron is going to be a run heavy guy, a short, quick attack? And don't get me wrong, you're going to go downfield, of course, at times, but it's just not going to be the greatest show on turf, not yet, anyway. You think he's going to kind of hold Caleb back, get him solid in the fundamentals and the checks and in the check with me's and the audibles before he lets him loose?
First, just for the record, I hate check with me's. I think they are the worst thing in football, and we see them all over in college football. I hate them. because it's basically just perfect plays. Ryan Day runs it a lot, which I think was to the detriment of Justin Fields, and because he wasn't. The difference between Justin Fields and Joe Burrow was remarkable. Because Justin Fields has to do check with me's, even though he's got Alabama out of position. He could have just called his own play and scored a touchdown. That's neither here nor there. You can tell it still it really grinds my gears. But no, I think the goal with Caleb is he's going to have to learn himself that this is the NFL. So one of my best friends played with Johnny Manziel for the Browns. And he was like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Then you go to the Kyler Murray story of Kyler Murray not watching tape, just thinking he could figure it out. So you get to that. And then you get to Joe Burrow, who's like, yeah, I study nonstop and I call all my own plays. And obviously that harkens back to Peyton Manning, who called all of his own plays. And when I think about Shane, I think about the fact that he coached for the 49ers, or excuse me, not the 49ers, the Seahawks. And he put a lot on his quarterback. So when you coach for the Seahawks, Pete Carroll wants you to make sure that you know what you're doing. And I think that that's going to be, that's my takeaway. If you coach for Belichick and Pete Carroll, they want you to know, they want the quarterback, they want to not be a thing. And by that, what I mean is they want the quarterback to not be a thing they have to think about. You think Belichick ever thought about Tom Brady? No. Right. And with the Seahawks, why is Geno so good now? How? How is this guy that we thought was no good, guy got beat up in the Jets locker room by a teammate? How is he good now? Oh, Pete Carroll's like, you can't be the thing I have to focus on every week. Every week I worry about all the other stuff. I'm not worried about you. You have to be a thing I don't worry about. And I think that's where what we're going to get with Waldron is yes, it'll start slow, but at the end of the day, think about it. You think Pete Carroll ever thought about Russell Wilson? No. He's going to be fine. He'll be fine. And so that's the part that's going to be interesting. That's why the Steelers picked up Russell Wilson. And that's what Justin Fields is going to learn for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can't be the thing I think about every week.
Right.
And so I think that's what Waldron brings to the table. And I know it's unorthodox of a way to think about or to talk about this, but that's the way that I see it. It's the same as flip it over, right? You think the Ravens ever thought about Ed Reed?
Or
you think the
Lewis?
Bears ever thought about Brian Urlacher? No. They never thought about him at all. The Steelers never thought about Troy Polamalu. Do whatever you want. We know you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the thing that Waldron should bring to the table. And it's going to take time. It will take time. But I do think it does matter. And that's why I hate check with me's. This is a long story short. That's why I hate check with me's. Because check with me means you don't trust me. You think you know this better than I know it, even though I'm the one in the game doing everything. And so that's why I don't like check with me's. But at the end of the day, Ryan Day thinks too much about his quarterback. When Joe Burrow got out of Ohio State, he was like, yo, just let me cook. Come on. Hey, what do you say? Poppy. Hey, come on, Poppy, let me cook. So I think Waldron's he's gonna, teach him, show him. But at the end of the day, let's cook.
Last question before we let you go. And man, guys, we're joined by Michael Felder from Bleacher Report, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me how soon do you think it is? Because Caleb is extremely, extremely mature. So I actually played college ball with his high school coach. So I had him on my show last week, and he was saying, and he had brought up the fact that Caleb, had an apartment because they lived too far. He had an apartment in DC in high school by himself. Now, I don't know about you, but should I wild out my freshman year in college? Can you imagine if I was a senior and had my own place? Shows an unbelievable amount of maturity for that young man. How soon do you think he can get it? Because if you do that, and then what do we hear about him in LA? Nothing. We didn't hear about he was at the red carpet. He was at the club. He was at here. We didn't hear all that. All we heard about was look at that damn apartment that he's renting over there. Well, that's literally the only thing we heard about Caleb Williams was his apartment. This guy seems locked in and focused on football. We know the talent is there. We saw it. You don't win the Heisman for no reason. How soon do you think he gets it? This whole thing of being a quarterback in the NFL.
I think he gets it pretty quickly. I'm less worried about that. I'm more like if I had to put one thing that I would be worried about with Caleb Williams, I think it would be exhaustion. He does understand it. He gets it. I think that he's going to take to this like a duck to water. Like he's going to understand Waldron and Eberflus and what works and all that stuff. I think he's going to understand it. I think he's going to be better in the NFL than he is in college, or than he was in college. And this, we're talking about a Heisman Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be better in the NFL because the NFL forces you to do stuff, and Lincoln Riley let him do stuff. Those are two completely different things. So I think he's going to be better in the NFL than in college because he's going to have to play in phase. He's going to have to play, within the structure of the game, within the structure of the offense. So I think he's going to be better at that with his skills, with what he's able to do. But as far as maturity goes and as far as being an adult, I still struggle. I lost my cell phone last night. So there's some things that are hard. Like you have to deal with adult stuff.
Yeah.
And the NFL doesn't have as many handlers and he can hire them, of course. You can hire a handler, you can hire a personal assistant, whatever. But what I'm saying is
personal phone holder.
But yes, exactly. Guess what? That's my child is my personal phone holder, and she had my phone the whole time. She had my phone the whole time, and I was like, "Where is my phone?" I was like, "You know what? I don't care. I'll be getting a new phone tomorrow. I'm going to bed." And then in the morning, she comes in with my phone, and she's like, "Your phone alarm went off," and I was like, "You had it the whole time." But no, to go back to Caleb, I think the big key to me for him is there's levels, right? He's going to have to, again, we talked about Keenan Allen. You got to get along with all these guys. You have to be in charge of all these guys, but you also have to get along with all these guys. You have to make these guys, and that's something I think about a lot with Aaron Rodgers. That no one likes him. No one. They like that he can help them win, but I think there is huge value from a quarterback standpoint, from a safety standpoint, from a linebacker standpoint, offense, every position on the field. There's a huge value that these guys want you to come to their kid's birthday party, right? They want you to show up and go on that hunting trip. They want you to do this stuff. And I think that's where Caleb's going to have to push. That's where he's had to push. I don't think he has to push on the field. They all respect him. They believe in him. They know that. But who's going to invite him? That's the difference. I think that can be the biggest difference between him and Aaron Rodgers is somebody on this roster. Let's see. Pick a guy, right? Velus Jones. Does Velus Jones invite you to his kid's birthday party? That to me says more about a teammate than, and I guess, I don't know, maybe because I just watched Draft Day a couple days ago, but the reality of it is, to me, is does DeAndre Swift introduce you to his girlfriend or wife or whatever?
Right. No, I feel you. Believe you me, I feel you, bro. Yes.
Yeah.
It matters a lot, and which is why, and some people might not get it, but I don't know and I'm sure you did. The thing that I thought was the best, that Caleb did the best, was after Rome got drafted. What did he do? He ran and found him because they had worked out prior. They didn't know they were going to be teammates.
Exactly.
Inadvertently, they were on the same flight. They had the same picture. Hey, and what did he say? Oh, what did what's his name say? He goes, I'll get us. He goes, I'll get us there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll get us there. And then what did he do? He goes, he finds him in there, with the curtains where he's doing a little phone call, and he's like, Rome Odunze, and celebrated him.
Yes. And that's what I think he's good at.
Yes. And you saw Rome like, yeah. And at that point, I'm like, that's his dude.
Let's go.
Like Rome, like he's in line. He's a general. Rome's my soldier. Rome is my dude.
That's what you said it in a much shorter way than I did, but I do think that stuff matters. And that's the part that I do think matters the most is it's not like, yes, he has all the talent in the world. So does Aaron Rodgers. No one likes him.
Yeah.
No one likes that guy. And it's not even like rival fans. I'm saying like people on his team don't like him.
Yeah.
And so when you look at it, he just needs to make sure he ingratiates himself like he's carry the balls. Carry the balls. Do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and he needs to. You know what I mean? And I know when you do stuff like that, it matters. You know, when you and it's when you're a good teammate, you know, and you don't let who you are and where you're taken. The fact, like, yeah, you're a rookie. I'm a rookie. I'll carry the balls. I'll do this. I'll do that. You know, and he does it all season. That will lend the veterans will love you to death if you say, okay, listen, I want to be part of this team, and this is the process of going through of being part of this team. All the rookies had to do this crap. Guess what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to sit up and sing at the meeting, sing the USC fight song, and in meetings, stuff like that. All that stuff matters, and I don't think this guy has a problem doing it. I think he wants to be great. And he has the personality to do it. You say he don't give a damn. Pink fingernails, pink phone, pink dress. He don't give a damn. So I think he's going to be. The guy that takes us to it. Again, it has nothing. I didn't want him, but he's here. So my wants are a moot point. It don't even matter.
Sure.
And so let's roll. And I'm ready to roll with him. Hey, Michael, great stuff, man. I appreciate it, man. And especially after the long weekend you had. Do me a big favor, though. Let everyone know before you go. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah. Learfield, College Sports Now. They're doing baseball right now, so I'm kind of on a break, which is nice. Hand in the Dirt. It's a gardening podcast about football, and it's really a lifestyle podcast. But check that out. And then It's Felder on Instagram and itsfelder.substack.com. I'm actually getting ready to record my own podcast today, talking about the draft and kind of a draft recap, and also do a newsletter. So it's all there at Substack. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and Bleacher Report, obviously. I think we have a not a draft recap. I think we're getting ready to talk about the transfer portal soon. So, which is a whole other beast. Like, it's insane. Like, dealing with that. I'm sorry we didn't talk about Tory Taylor. I'm not a punter guy. I will say this. You mentioned being a good teammate. I am in my phone right now. I have 3 long snappers and 2 punters in my phone right now that I played football with at UNC. That I see pretty routinely because they all live in Charlotte together. So it's like, I know these guys. Like, I am friends with them. I do treat them like people. I'm not using my draft capital, so to speak, to study them.
You know what? It's funny because I was a coach after I played. I was a coach for a long time.
Yeah.
I still call all my kickers kicker.
Yeah.
I know their names. I know their names, but still, like, kicker, hey coach, how are you? It's still to this day. And one of my buddies, and I liked it real quick because one of my buddies, he was the first dude that blew my mind as a punter. Like, he would coffin corner it, bounced and go right out of bounds, like straight 90 degrees, right out of bounds. Like, dude, that was like the 3-yard line. And he would do it on a regular. Then he kick it down the middle. And the first time I saw it, he kicked it down the middle. I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna go in it was warm up pre-game. Sure. I was just gonna go into the end zone, and boom, shit bounced at like the 5 or 4, bounced straight up,
boom,
and died right there. I'm like, dude, how the hell? What in the blue hell? And he's like, you know what he said? Dude, I almost pissed my pants. He's like, ancient Chinese secret.
I love it. Like, I love the work they do. Listen, if it's the question is, do you want to watch Kieran Amagaji or do you want to watch Tory Taylor? I'm like, give me Amagaji.
Yeah.
All day.
Let me watch the hog. Let me watch the guy move people.
Yeah. All right, go do your thing, man. This is so super fun. Again, I'm super excited for you guys with Austin Booker.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Michael, thanks a lot, Papa. We'll be in touch soon, man. I am fired up for this season, man. Fired
right.
up.
I'm
Thanks again, man.
pumped.
Appreciate you.
All right, see you, bud.
All righty. Guys, that's Michael Felder from Bleacher Report, man. I appreciate his time talking. This is what I'm telling you. I like it. This is why I want not just local guys. I want national reporters, people who cover it nationally. He covers it from Bleacher Report. Like I said, he was on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, analyzing every pick, every single pick. Whew. Oh, man. We're in a good spot, Bears fans. We're in a good spot. We're in a real good spot. Enjoy it. Okay, enjoy it. And my biggest question is, how do we bridge this divide? How do we get back to, there's still ill will in Bears fandom. Okay? A lot of ill will during that Civil War, from that Civil War. And that's my biggest question. How do we do that? Because some people I just want to slap. I just want to slap. And it's not that I'm wrong. And yes, I hate being wrong, but I still think this was the wrong decision, but I trust polls. Okay, cool. But like some people that were cool with me aren't cool with me anymore. And I'm like, it's just football. Like, it's a choice. Like, we picked, it was one choice. It was, this is going to happen or this was going to happen. And you sitting there saying, I know it was going to happen. I know you didn't know it was going to happen. All right. We didn't know it was going to happen. You believed it was going to happen. You know, and then the name calling back and forth and the disrespect by people. And I think the biggest problem for me was you get people who don't know jack shit about football being disrespectful to people who know shit about football. You know, and it just it boggled my mind. Like, why do you feel the need to be disrespectful here? You're a clown. You're an idiot. You're a moron. And you're like, wait a minute, you didn't even play fucking high school football. And you did, and you were a backup. But you want to call people who, call other people who differ from who have a differing opinion, clowns and morons and idiots. And it's on both sides. Let's not get it wrong. Both sides. Pro-Justin people did that to the pro-Caleb people, and pro-Caleb people did it to pro-Justin people. So that's the thing that I'm wondering. How do we bridge this divide? Because there's still some people I want to slap the shit out. I won't even punch them. I'll slap them like a little yeah. Because most of the time, your little people are thumb thugs. It's easy to hide behind here and blah 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 blah. It's like there's no need for it. Like, we should all be Bears fans. Yeah, we agree to disagree. It's move on. This, but man, you just Black Diamond. Maybe you're right. There's no meaning. Let them be. Yeah, well, some people. I'm just telling you, I'm just keeping it a buck. So if one day I'm supposed to do the show and I'm not on, and I come on, I'm like, hey, sorry, fellas, I got arrested because I slapped some dude, and he cried and he called the police on me and said I assaulted him, and we slapped him twice. There's a couple people that's just on site. I'm just saying, on site. Those know what I'm talking about. It's just on site. Like, there's no reason to talk to, be disrespectful to people because we have differing views. Anyway, man, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Michael Felder from Bleacher Report, coming on talking Bears football with me. Man, that was great. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Great show. And again, I love getting people who are, national football guys. If you didn't hear, you should. I think you did. He mentioned a couple times. He played football at North Carolina, University of North Carolina. So I love when I first reached out to him 2 years ago, and I found out he played. I'm like, good. This is what I want. I want people like this. I want people who play the game, who can give you, whose opinion I value, because I value those opinions of players a lot more than I do just people who write about it. And there's no disrespect to those guys. We need those guys too. But I value the opinion of those guys who played the sport more. Not saying I don't value the others. I just value the player's opinion more. So, and you saw he's a really cool dude, man, down to earth, and great stuff. I want a big shout out to Michael Felder. I appreciate his time, and I appreciate you guys, man, for joining us. It's a phenomenal show. I appreciate the love and the support you guys have for me and in Sports Zone Chicago. All right, make sure if you're not subscribed to Sports Zone Chicago's YouTube channel, please do that. All right, I'll be on later today. 1 o'clock, I'll be on with Nomad, our daily Bears talk with Nomad and the guys. All right, so you can check that out. So you'll see me back here shortly. I'm going to go pick up the warden. I got to come back, grab a quick bite, and then I'm back on the air. Talking Bears, man. I love it. And that's all Bears. All Bears. All right. So for everybody here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, my social media guy, my co-host, and Absentia Maya. Guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn, Sierra. Guys, do me a favor. Enjoy it. Get out there. Enjoy this beautiful weather when you can. If you're working, I get it. Make sure you get out there. Mario's, if you're in Chicago, Mario's Italian Lemonade opened up on Taylor Street. Yeah, baby. Go across the street, get a beef, get Italian sausage, then walk right across the street to Mario's, get some nice, refreshing Italian ice. Yeah. Make sure you follow me on Facebook there at the Shawn Sierra. And I put a list of some of the places with the top steakhouses, top rooftops, top taco places. I do a lot. Me, I'm born and bred South Side. I love Chicago, and there's a lot of cool things I put in there because Summertime Shy there's nothing like it. No other city in the world. I lived in New York. I've been there in the summer, been to Miami, been to DC, been to LA. There's no city like Chicago in the summer. Summertime Shy is a different beast. Rooftops, patios, all right, outdoor, the lake, on my big meats. Oh man. But so you know how Summertime Shy is. Enjoy it, baby. Enjoy it. This weekend's gonna be nice. Start the Cinco de Mayo on Sunday. All right. Make sure you guys get out, have some tequila. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. The Irish welcome us most of us on St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Come on, everyone be Mexican on Cinco de Mayo. Excuse me, Cinco de Mayo. Come on, baby. Bring some tequila. Grab some Terramana if you want the rocks tequila, whatever. But bring it. There's gonna be brunches. There's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be a blast on Sunday. Out there, enjoy it, and do me a favor. Make sure you're the reason somebody smiles today. All right, give someone a call, give someone a text, give them a voice text, a voice memo. You know how to do it, man. Just say, hey guys, what's up, man? Just hope everything's all right. Reaching out, touching base, hoping you and your family are good. I'm telling you that will make the world of difference to some people. All right, so I'll be back in a couple hours, 2 hours actually. Be back on this show is gonna be replayed at 6. At 1 o'clock, I'll be on with Nomad. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, baby. I am out. Sports owners, I love you. Thanks for the support.